Again, we greet you from the studios in Radio City. Texaco service stations and dealers from coast to coast present the Fire Chief Quartet. Don Voorhees and the Fire Chief Band. Graham McNamee. And Ed Wynn, the Fire Chief.
Tonight's program's different. Hello, Chief. Say, Graham. Yeah? After my uncle shaved yesterday, he used flour instead of talcum powder.
What's strange about using flour for talcum powder?
I don't know, but when it gets hot now, he breaks out in biscuits. I don't know. It's all different tonight, Graham.
Now I'm convinced he should get married.
Yes?
Yeah, he needs a woman around the house.
Oh, he's keeping company, Graham.
Yeah?
Oh, yes. He took a girl out last Sunday, I think it was. They went canoeing. In the middle of the lake, she refused to kiss him in the canoe, you know. So he paddled her back.
She's a nice girl, Chief.
Oh, yes, Graham. He likes the girl, but he claims that she's too extravagant, you know.
That's bad.
Oh, yes, it is, Graham. It's terrible. You see, every time she sees a taxi cab, she gets paralyzed from the hips down. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what I mean. I've seen him.
Well, he took her to a dance Saturday, Graham, and she wore one of those baseball dresses, you know.
What's that?
A baseball dress.
A baseball dress.
Well, it had a diamond back with a grandstand view in front, and it showed a lot of beautiful curves, Graham. And Graham,
Yes.
hey, this is confidential.
Yeah?
I don't want anyone but the United States to hear it.
Just tell it to me. Tell it to me.
I've got the biggest news story of the entire year.
What is it?
I beat all the radio scoops and newspaper scoops and everything.
What is it, Chief?
Big news story.
What
Would you like
is
to hear
it? Yes.
Get closer there.
All right,
to the
I
microphone,
said
Graham.
yes.
Now listen to this for
I'm
news.
listening. Go ahead. It's so silly, but it will be.
I just found out, Graham,
Yeah?
that one of the richest American heiresses actually went to Europe and came back here again without marrying one of those Prince Mitty Vanny boys. You know?
Just keep on doing what you're doing, although it's leading me to ruin. Just keep on doing what you're doing, 'cause I love what you're doing to me. Just keep on doing what you're doing, although I know the trouble's brewing. Just keep on doing what you're doing, 'cause I love what you're doing to me. Your lips I can't resist, and once they're pressed to mine, I wanna be kissed and kissed. Just keep on doing what you're doing, although it's leading me to ruin. Just keep on doing what you're doing, 'cause I love what you're doing to me.
That's fine. Hey, Graham.
Steve, how are your pets?
Oh, Graham, what pets I got this week.
You must have.
The funniest thing, Graham, I was in the food closet yesterday up on the farm, you know, and there were two little ants on the outside of a box of cornflakes. One was running along the edge of the box, you know, and the other one said, "What's your hurry?" You know.
Yeah.
And the ant that was running said, "Don't you read the instructions on the box? It says tear along on the dotted line." It's all.
You must must have a lot of fun on your farm.
Oh, I do, Graham. Last Sunday, that funny-looking girl of my uncle's I was telling you about,
Yeah.
she was standing in the cornfield, and the birds took her for a scarecrow.
Did she scare him, Chief?
Did she scare the birds?
Yeah.
My goodness, Graham. She frightened the crows so much, they brought back the corn that they had stolen 3 days before.
What else?
Never saw anything like it.
What else, Chief?
Well, I think the greatest pet that I've got, Graham, it was a big expense, too. Cost me in English money, up to halfpenny. This pet, Graham, is it's the stork that used to wait for Solomon and his 1,000 wives, you know. I'd love to show him to you, Graham. But he's got a sign over his door. It says, "Please do not disturb."
But Chief, you should have made a lot of money on your dogs.
Yeah?
I heard they had several litters with Don.
They had several litters.
Several litters, I heard.
The dogs?
Yeah, the dogs.
Oh, I didn't make any money with those puppies, Graham.
You didn't?
No, don't you remember the old saying?
What?
All is not sold that litters. Did you never hear that, Graham? I'll tell you what I've got, Graham.
Yeah, what do you...
I've got a Saint Bernard dog, a big Saint Bernard dog, like they have in the mountains, you know.
Yeah.
And he's so proud, you know. He walks with his head way up in the air.
Yeah.
He's so proud.
Well, what about, Chief?
Well, he's serving real brandy again, you know. He's wonderful.
You should see it.
I'm through.
You sure, Jeff? I'm through, and I'm sure. Now tell us what's the music.
Well, the music, Graham, we've been talking about birds and liquor, you know.
Yes.
We'll have the famous repeal song about birds. It was written years ago. The name of it is The Return of the Swallow by Gulp.
Let me introduce to you
Someone who is new to you.
her famous travel all around the scholars off from town to town.
She's the lady with the fan.
Oh, she's a lady with a fan. She's a lady with a fan.
Can't you dance?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and every week we'll get the giggles from us hicks to pays a nickel to see that lady with the fan.
She's a lady with a fan. She's a lady with a fan.
When she comes by, hold your man.
She got Smoky Joe so Jenny, he forgot about his many. I mean the lady with the fan.
That mean old lady with the fan.
She's the lady with the fan. See her leave so black and tan.
She's sure a man attraction for old lady bones in action.
What's the lady with the fan?
What a lady, what a fan. She's a lady with a fan. Oh, that lady with the fan.
Yeah, and she can dance a half a candy just like stealing baby's candy.
What a lady, what a fan.
Now step right up and see that. You don't mean the lady with the... No, I mean the lady with the fan. Dancing with a twinkle, see you waiting, rip and wiggle.
The lady with the fan. Oh, she's a lady with the fan. She's a lady.
With the fan.
Oh, what a lady.
With the fan.
Oh, she got Santa Claus a giddy. He thought he was still a kitty. What a lady, what a fan. What a lady, what a fan.
Yes, Steve. My uncle's got a great scheme to get over the winter. He's going south, you know.
Good.
He knows a girl down there. That's why he's going down. She wears slacks. You know, those men's pants.
Well, how'll that help him?
Well, that's he gets over the winter that way, you see. Well, when he goes into a restaurant with her, the waiter hands her the check. Don't you see? Now, Steve, if he's really going south, tell him to go by car. Make side trips.
Yeah.
Really see the country.
I
And
see.
he can get dependable Texaco service all the way. Isn't that wonderful, Graham? My goodness, your gasoline must be powerful, Graham.
It is.
Yes, a man drove up to a filling station in a big car and he said, "How far is it to Florida?"
Yeah.
And the attendant said, 200 miles. The man said, "Give me 2 quarts oil and 20 gallons of any kind of gas." Any kind of gas, Chief? Oh, don't worry, Graham. I know who we're waiting for. I'll bring that in later. Don't worry, Graham. You nearly crabbed the joke by butting in there. I'm going to start with the last line again. The man said that he wanted 2 quarts of oil and 20 gallons of any kind of gas.
Any kind of gas, Chief?
Mind your own business. Don't spoil it. You heard me. Listen, Graham, that's what I was going to come to, you see. My uncle drove up to the same station with his little car. He said to the man, he said, I hear it's 200 miles to Florida. And he said, put a quart of water and a tablespoon full of fire cheap in this car and hold the darn thing like it in it.
Chief, no matter where you drive today, the Texaco pump is always handy. Remember that. Greater Fire Chief. The quick-starting emergency gasoline is available at no extra price.
Getting to be a... My uncle bought a car at no extra price, Graham.
Yeah?
He paid $55 for it.
$55. I can't get over it, Chief.
Neither can he. He's always under it, Graham.
For quick starts on cold days, there's nothing like Greater Fire Chief. You know that?
Do I know it?
Yeah.
I haven't tried it yet. As far as I'm concerned, I'll stick to my horse.
You and your horse.
Yes, my new horse is the biggest horse you ever saw. I don't like automobiles. I'll stick to my horse.
I know, Chief. I saw you riding him Sunday.
Oh,
He's the tallest and strongest looking horse I ever saw. What was that big piece of iron you had tied on his tail?
Oh, well, that was my own idea, Greg. That's a car swatter. Tonight's opera is most unusual, Graham.
Yes?
The title of it is As Ye Sow, So Shall Ye Reap. Oh, it's a very interesting opera. The hero of tonight's opera, Graham, is so small and he is so thin that he couldn't weigh more than 90 pounds even with a Sunday newspaper under his arm. Now, it seems once on the golf course, the man wanted to hit him with a driver. But he's so small that someone... He says, don't hit him with a driver, that's only a putt. He says, he's so small, you know. Someone asked him once if he wore suspenders. And he says, no, why should I wear suspenders? Why should I wear suspenders? Why should I support my pants? They never did anything for me. You know, he was a peculiar man, Graham.
Yeah.
He had once been married to the Siamese twins, but he divorced them. He couldn't stand for those 4 cold feet on his back, you know. So, Graham, as the curtain rises on the opera, it is a beautiful moonlight night. The moon is so bright, Graham, that owls are dying of insomnia. Beautiful night. It is the hero's farm, Graham, and it is very muddy. It is so muddy that even the ducks wear boots. You know, it's very... In fact, the soil is so rich that the hero, who has a wooden leg, is afraid to walk on his own farm. Why? Because every time he steps in the soil, it's so rich his wooden leg starts sprouting. He's very smart, though, Graham. He has brains that he hasn't even used yet. You know what I mean? In fact, at Christmas time, he generally hangs his head on the tree. He hopes that he'll get something in it, you know. He is the most unusual man. He wears Van Winkle pants. What are they? They don't rip. You know? And a strange thing, Graham, none of his family works. And at the finish of the first act, we see the hero sitting at his window. Because he claims that somebody has to look out for the family. Play that guy. In the second act, we meet the wife.
Yeah.
She is so heavy, you know. She's such a big whoop that she'd make a good anchor for somebody's yacht, you know. Her expression is so sour that when she puts on face cream, it cradles. Wait till you hear this, Graham. This is very interesting. You see this scene, you know, where she's in a furniture store, and she says to the salesman, she says, I want to get an easy chair for my husband. The salesman says, Morris, and she says, no, Clarence. She says it's for my husband's 30th birthday. Then she says, I dread to think of my 30th birthday. The salesman looks at her and says, why? What happened? She says, you annoy me, if you get what I mean, she says. She kind of snooty, you know. She says, you annoy me, if you get what I mean. And the salesman, who is Irish, says, I know what you mean by annoy. I know the old expression. Annoy for annoy and a tooth for a tooth. So, on her way home, you know, she partakes of retail, Graham. Yeah, you know what I mean? As she puts the light fantastic into her home, you know, she's kind of flighty now. She says, I'm the most graceful dancer in this state. And the husband says, you may be in this state, but you're not when you're sober. I like that. Isn't that good? No kidding.
I'll have to sit down.
So, then he laughs, you see. The hero laughs and he shows his teeth. Because his teeth are the pride of his life, you know. But that makes her angry. She slaps him in the jaw. And he swallows his false pride. You know? No one could write that but me.
No, nobody would.
So she says, I've been shopping. Wait till you hear this one, Graham. Listen intently, because it's all in English. She says, I've been shopping, dear, and I noticed that curves and bulges are coming back. And the husband says, well, if that's true... He said, if that's true, I hope my pocketbook gets to look like Mae West. We see the husband.
Yeah.
Now, get out your handkerchief, because this is lovely, Graham.
All right.
In the side act, we see the husband, a very pathetic figure.
Yeah.
The poor fellow has lost all his friends, Graham. He has nothing left but relatives. I'll get the devil for that. Anyhow, his cousin, the hero's cousin, enters, you know.
Yeah.
He says, Clarence, you must help me. I've got a wife that is so irritable that the least thing I do starts her off. And Clarence says, you're lucky. Mine's a self-starter. The cousin says, you were in Hollywood. I love this one.
Yeah.
Says you were in Hollywood. Is it true that Marlene Dietrich has such beautiful legs? And Clarence says, well, you can't prove it by me, but I wish you could. I like it because it's just a little out of my line. Well, the cousin says, how are things? And Clarence says, well, I think they're improving all over since Cocktails came back, he says. And, what's his name? Clarence said, I guess you're right, he said. That's what the country needed, was a good shaking up, he said. You know. So, Clarence said, I read where they started to build the Chinese Wall in 400 B.C., and it isn't finished yet. And the cousin says, that's the kind of a frame I'd like to get with, he said. I love that one. Clarence says, well, look at me. Things are bad with me. The installment man, the banker, and the landlord are hungry for their money with me. And if they hadn't acted like three little pigs, I wouldn't have the big bad wolf at my door. He said. And the cousin said, well, things are so tough with me that this is the first cigar I've smoked in months, he said.
In months?
Yeah. Clarence said, what's the matter? And he says, well, I had lumbago and I couldn't bend over, he said. To make money, you know what you and I should do? We should have a column in the newspaper like Walter Winchell. He makes a lot of money.
Yeah.
And he's got a great slogan. And the cousin says, what is it? And Graham, that's where the opera gets the title. When Clarence says that Winchell's slogan is, as ye show, so shall I peep. You like the hat? I got that.
Well, say, Chief, do you think that traveling in Africa is more interesting than traveling here?
That's an odd subject, Graham.
That's what I asked you.
Yes, I think traveling in Africa's fine. You can walk for blocks there without meeting bill collectors. I know that. There's no reason to go
You
to
know,
Africa.
Chief, that even in Africa you can get technical gasoline and motor oil.
Oh, you got me into that.
Petroleum products out of 47 countries.
You mean to say in 47 countries they sell acid?
That's what I said.
My uncle will be glad to he'll be tickled to death to hear that, Graham.
Yeah?
He's taking up foreign languages at night school, you know.
Yes. Free course in foreign languages, Chief?
Oh, no. I got a bill for them, Graham. Let me see. I got a bill for $20 for his French, $50 for Spanish, and $100 for his Scotch. So
He's doing well, Chief.
Very well.
In some parts of India, technical products are transported to the interior on the backs of camels.
Poor Indians. Well, anyhow, it's funny you mentioned camels, Graham. My uncle and another man were arguing all day yesterday whether camels were better than horses. And while they were arguing, they kept buying rounds of drinks.
Graham, well, how'd it come out?
Well, I don't know now. It was 10 rounds, no decision, I think.
Well, there's hardly a country in the world, Chief, where you can't find the Texaco Red Star with the green teeth.
Well,
even in Borneo
tonight.
Texaco products have been sold for years.
Think of that. In Borneo?
Yep.
That's where the most expensive meal in the world was ever eaten was in Borneo.
Oh, why, Chief, they've had meals in New York banquets for $200 a plate.
Oh, that's nothing, Graham. That's no expense for a meal. One of the cannibals in Borneo ate a movie actress with $1 million legs.
self-control, something to brag about, now to gag about town. The things I do, I never forgiven for, just when I'm living them down. I hear music, and I'm too for music, makes me do the things I never could do.
That's all right, boy.
Yes, sir. Well, Chief.
Yes?
We have some letters here tonight. Now,
Yes.
should we get at them? Well, here's one.
Go ahead, Graham.
From Chief Joe Alexander of Cincinnati, Ohio.
Chief Joe Alexander, I know him.
Dear Fire Chief, can you tell me how many different kinds of colleges there are in this country? Signed, Brother Chief.
Dear Brother Chief, there are only two kinds of colleges in this country. Those that wish they had fired their football coach last year and those that wish they hadn't.
All right, Chief.
They don't lay much over here.
Here's one from Freeport, Long Island.
That's in this
Dear
country.
Fire Chief,
Yes.
all I see in the papers is marriage and divorce. What are your views on the subject? Signed, engaged.
Oh. Dear engaged, modern marriage is like a cafeteria. A man grabs what he wants and pays for it later.
Ohio.
Yeah. I've been there.
Dear Fire Chief, my father and mother both talk in their sleep, and they seem to hear what each other is saying. Isn't that unusual? Signed, believe it or not.
Do you believe it or not? I know a couple who talk in their sleep. He is a golf fiend, and she loves to go to auction sales. I heard them talk in their sleep the other night. The golfer yelled 4, and the wife yelled 4 1/4.
Here's one from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
I've been there, too,
Dear Fire Chief, I heard that your only regret in life is that you are not Adam, the first man on earth. I'd like to know your reason. Signed, 5 Tube Set.
5 Tube Set, wrote that?
Yeah.
I never published that. I don't know where she heard that. Dear 5 Tube Set, the reason I want to be Adam is, if I told a joke, I know no one could say, well, I heard that one before.
These programs are brought to you by the Texaco dealer in your neighborhood. If you enjoy them, why not let him know it? Let him know it in a practical manner. If you drive a car, patronize his station for all your motoring needs. The Texaco trademark on the products he sells is your guarantee of the finest in motor fuels and lubricants. Your assurance of courteous, expert service. It costs you nothing extra, and your car will be a better car for it. Louis A. Whitten speaking for the Texas Company. One of the first in this industry to sign the NRA invites you to tune in next Tuesday for another Greater Fire Chief program. And remember, whenever you hear the siren and bell, think of Texaco.
Keep on doing what you're doing was from Hip Hip Hooray. This is the National Broadcasting Company.